Alrighty, what is up, y'all? Spencer K here, and I'm back for another episode of Nuclear Hearts, episode 45, if I remember correctly. My goodness, we're getting close to 50. It doesn't feel real. This is the longest series I've ever done now on YouTube, so shout out, man. We got a little bit different of an episode today. We're going to be getting back into construction. Not quite a mega project, but it is quite a big project that we're going to be starting today. In a weird video, because I've actually already completed a lot of it. I was recording in silence, and I'm going to roll a montage. But before we do, let me go ahead and explain what it is. You guys remember a while back we started a storage facility, and you can see I've officially finished the outline. It's not fully functional. We've added on to it a little bit. But I hit a roadblock, and I realized I was like, man, I'm making a ton of progress, so I want to make an episode out of this. But without further ado, I'm going to stop yapping, and we're going to roll a quick montage. We're going to get back over to that facility in just a little bit, but the reason I came back here is because I'm actually really hurting for iron, as well as some other materials. Now, great news, the centrifuge is going crazy, man. Look at this. It's breaking down iron crystals. We have a lot more iron crystals, too. Problem being, it takes a little bit of time. So what we need to do is get more of these centrifuges. Now, it just so happens with slash creative, no, I'm just kidding. Last episode, actually the last two episodes, when we were raiding those nuclear power plants, guys, we found some centrifuges in both of those structures. We raided 2 nuclear power plants, and both of those have 2 centrifuges each, which means we have 4 centrifuges, which is going to help us out big time. I'm actually really stoked about that. So we're going to go and slap those bad boys down, and we should be able to get through that iron pretty quickly. Now, the problem being, this thing is a little bit backed up. It's doing its best. It's a diamond furnace, which smelts much faster than a regular furnace. But it is playing a little bit of catch up. So in the meantime, I guess enjoy another quick little montage of me working with HBM equipment, with the ore acidizer, the centrifuges, and I guess smelting. Alrighty, I am back. I actually just let this kind of go. I AFK'd for probably about 30 to 45 minutes while I ate dinner. This chest was full, and it's about a third of the way full, a little over maybe. We have some aluminum going in there, but the big ticket item is going to be the 2 1/4 stacks of iron blocks, plus a couple of extra ingots because why not? But that finally got done, so we're going to go ahead and take all that iron back over to our storage facility, and we'll pick it up from there. Alrighty, we are at the storage facility, and like I said, I did a lot of work. This video is a little out of order through the power of editing. You will never know. Let's bounce up here. I want to show you guys what the full building kind of looks like from an aerial point of view. Here you go. There's going to be 8 little aisles, I guess you can call it. It's going to go down and back, down and back, down and back, 8 times, and each one of these has 32 slots, or I guess chests for storage. So 32, 64, so on and so forth. So that's 4 full, well, I was going to say 4 full stacks, but I mean, they're all different items. But yeah, whatever, 256, does 256 sound right? I think that's what 32 times 8 is. I don't know, I'm trying to do it in my head, but that's the closest number I can get. But yeah, that many items this can hold, and it's just the first floor. So unfortunately, I do plan on having this building being multi-floored. I think I'm going to go with 2. 3 would be a little excessive in my book. So the building's not going to be done this episode, but my goal is to really make this actually functional a little bit further. And let me show you some of the work I've done as well. We've all seen this front section, I guess. And to best explain it here, I do have some blocks that I could put in here. Actually, I have quite a bit of blocks that I could put into here. So we're just going to go ahead and load it all up. So yeah, you can load this up with whatever material you would like, and it's going to go ahead and shoot it down this hopper train, I guess we can call it. And then on the back side, oh, good lag spike. That's what we need while I'm doing a quick little showcase here. On the back side, there's going to be this hopper underneath it, which basically acts like a key. If you've never seen how to do an auto sorter, I just recommend watching a video. But essentially, that's all it is. It's an auto sorter, and it'll, extract dirt here. You can see it's actually doing dirt right now. Grass, and then so on and so forth. Coarse dirt. And, geez, the lag's killing me. The next aisle was wood. Now, the problem is I don't have every single wood type in the game, and I am trying to get all the different wood types and all the different stuff. So it's somewhat organized, right? I want to have all the wood here, and then the rest of the wood right here. All the wool's down there. I went and made every single color of wool, just to try to keep it all together. I don't want to have like white wool and then wood and then dirt and then, so on and so forth, and just make it really and then it's like a crapshoot on where everything is. Don't want to do that. But we have most of the dirt, or most of the wood. Here are a few that I'm missing. Sacred oak, hellbark, cherry, ethereal, I believe is what it's pronounced. I don't know. I've never heard of that type of wood before. And then mangrove. And what annoys me is we found a mangrove before. I know we found that biome, so we just have to go find that, I assume. I actually think there's one near spawn. So we may go check that out here in a little bit and then add it right here. And so let's say you're doing what I'm doing, and oh crap, you don't have all the blocks you want for your auto sorter? That is a-okay, because you can do this fancy little thing called putting just a placer block in there. And since I'm not going to be putting any leaves with the name number 1 in this auto sorter, this thing will just skip it. It counts as a block that's something else. So it won't automatically fill up while the item frames in the front here are empty. Nothing will actually go into these chests. These chests are technically still claimed. But, let's say I go and I find some cherry wood or another type of wood I don't have, I could just take this block out and then put the block in that I want. And as long as there's nothing actively being sorted, if that thing's still sorted and it's kicking items back here and it beats me to the punch, then it'll kind of screw it up. It's really not that big of a deal. It's just a small little thing I got to fix. But other than that, we've gotten it all the way down to right here. You can see this is where the end is. And the reason I do it like this is in case I put an item in that doesn't have a slot yet or doesn't have a chest yet, it'll actually kick it all the way to the end and just sit in this hopper here. So I can collect it and just set it aside for a future day. And it's actually already happened multiple times. If you don't do these extra couple of hoppers here and you just end it right here on a chest, it'll actually block this chest. And so if I have any of those blocks and I put it in, they'll actually clog up, and you'll just kind of create a traffic jam going back, depending how many stacks of items that don't have a home you put in to the sorting system. But you can see this is where I left off. So this row is just about done. I mean, it's pretty much done. The redstone's done. The item frames, the chests are all down. We just need to place a couple more hoppers and connect it in. And then I'm hoping we could do this together. I'll do one with you guys. I think I did one in a previous episode, but I could do one more. We're going to go ahead and redstone this bad boy up as well and try to get it ready. The unfortunate bad news with this building is it just takes so much resources. Just everything from stone, redstone, iron. Iron's going to be the big one. I've used so much concrete already. This building is expensive. It's going to be really cool. Don't get me wrong. It is going to be sweet, but it is a very pricey building. We're going to go ahead and grab all that. Let's go ahead and grab... Yeah, we're going to need those chests as well. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and grab a few extra chests, or I guess wood, to craft some chests, just because we are going to need it. Alrighty, first and foremost, let's craft the chest, because we're going to craft some more hoppers. That is kind of the goal here. Go ahead and craft all the wood. Perfect. There we go. Another stack of chests. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're just going to do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bada bing, bada boom. We now have almost 3 full stacks of chests. And you're like, wow, that's a lot of chests. Nope, doesn't last. I can promise you that, man. Does not last. All right. Let's see. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't like that. Let's just go ahead and break down another half stack of iron here. And bada bing, bada boom. Stack of hoppers. Gosh, it hurts my feelings how quickly we use iron, dude. My goodness, that absolutely hurts my feelings. We did craft a little bit too much there. There we go. And 2 stacks of hoppers. That is absolutely bonkers. We're going to go ahead and use... Well, I already did it. So we're just going to do that. I was going to say we're going to use the rest of our iron to craft some iron chests. Like that. We need a few more of those. We're going to go ahead and put the extra iron in there. And I think that's okay. No. Let's... I need more wood already. Holy cow. And it's nighttime. It is challenging. Time goes by so fast. You can see there's 2 blood moons that happened while I was doing all my AFK work. I was curious how we were going to do on logs and all this other stuff because of the Techtopian villages. I've been getting a lot of wood from them, but I've actually been turning all their wood into planks. It's just a little bit easier for me. First things first, we're going to need a lot of redstone, so let's just go ahead and get that going. Yeah, let's just every single stick we just crafted will turn into redstone torches because we're going to need a lot. We are going to need an absolute lot. Now, I know the recipe, actually, so let me just put it in how I remember it. Actually, yeah, there we go. A full stack like that. I think it's going to be a full stack, full stack, full stack. Problem being, I don't know. Yeah, I'll do it. Okay, I'll do it. I was going to say, because I need the comparators, however you say it, comparators. Second try, I'm sorry. I need those too. But the problem being, I don't really have enough stone now. So, well, wait a minute. There we go. We got enough stone. Look at that. We're using our brains here. We're at an item sorting facility, a storage facility. There's no way I'm out of items, right? There's no possible way. All right, there we go. Another 2 stacks. Let's just break this one down into sticks too. There we go. And we're getting low on redstone, man. We are getting low on redstone. I'm going to turn every single stick into a torch again. Because this one goes quick. I can't remember. Is it like this? Yeah, okay. It is actually like that. All right. So let's do this. Let's be smart. We'll just do it the simple way here. Just like that. And we're going to get not quite 50. All right, let's grab some more stone. Let's grab some more stone here. There we go. And yeah, I'm pretty much out of redstone and redstone torch. Actually, crap. That was a terrible decision on my part now that I think about it. Because I need more redstone torches. Did not mean to do that. That's okay. Let's just finish up this next row. I called it a layer. It's actually a row. I want to finish up this next row. And that's going to take hoppers. And you think 2 stacks of hoppers, man, that's going to get us pretty far. Nope, it's not going to get us far at all. It's going to connect these 2 right here like that. So this is officially connected. Problem being, hold up, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here. Let's go ahead and put a hopper down here just so I have one when I'm ready. None of these hoppers back here have the leaves. So it's actually not ready to sort yet. But since my inventory is filled up with all kinds of tools and equipment, let's go ahead and work on the next layer. So first things first, you're going to put a hopper into the back of every single one of these chests. Like I said, I kind of showed some of this off in a previous episode. I couldn't tell you what episode it was. It's definitely over like 10 ago. I think I named it something along the lines of storage facility or something like that. To be honest, I can't quite remember. But it's been a while. So I'm going to kind of show you again here, but I'm going to need to go and get more stone, and we've hit that point where I need more redstone torches as well. I mean, I hate to do it, but we're going to have to go get more redstone here anyway. We used way more than I thought. I thought that would, the amount I had, I thought would carry us a while, but it absolutely did not, unfortunately. But that is okay. Okay, I'm going to put one stone in there just so I know when I open it, it's a stone chest. But we're pretty much out of stone, which sucks because we have 2 full backpacks of cobblestone. These backpacks are full of cobblestone, and then we have some left over. I may take one of these backpacks back home and start smelting cobblestone down into stone just because that is absolutely ridiculous. The amount of cobblestone we have versus the amount of stone we have. I just realized I didn't really do myself any favors either. I filled this up too high. This is actually supposed to be down a layer, unfortunately, and so is this one. Actually, I'm incorrect. It's going to be this layer and this layer that need to be down one. And every row before this, I actually had all this stone, so it looked a little bit better, but I am in a stone shortage, and this is going to be covered up anyway behind walls and stuff. And no one should ever see it again. So we're just going to keep a little secret between us, and we're going to let it be dirt. And we're just going to make do with it. But we're going to mine this out real quick. Alrighty, now that that is mined out, we're going to go ahead and this first cutout we did right behind the hoppers, one down from the hoppers, we're going to go ahead and place redstone torches just like this. There's going to be one per block. I believe it has to be how I'm putting it, like on this block. I don't think you can put it on the ground. I think it actually has to be on this far block, if I remember correctly. But you're only going to need, well, me 32, because that's how long this is. Then you're going to come on this other little cutout we made, and facing the redstone torches and hoppers, you're going to put down redstone repeaters like this. And you don't have to set a delay or anything like that. You can just do it as such. Whoops. And if you set a delay, I'd fix it just so they're all uniform. But after that, that is pretty much not it. It's it for this layer. I'd use stone just because it looks a little bit better. And like I said, we're going to cover it all up. You can make this layer stone, actually. We'll go ahead and do that. We'll make this layer stone just because that would look a little bit better. But right here, I just turn it all into stone, and I got my magic building wand here, which is going to help me out big time. Ooh, wait a minute. Ooh, I'm not going to have enough stone. Oh, I'm not going to have enough stone if I do this layer. I'll wait. I'll wait for now. Yeah, I'm going to wait. To be uniform, I think that would look better to make that stone, just because if I come over here, you can see it's stone, 3 stone blocks here, and then 1 stone down there. And I'm at the 3 stone blocks here and not stone down. So I'll go ahead and smelt some more stone, and we'll come back. We need redstone anyway, so that just works out that we have to go home. We'll go ahead and continue. We'll continue until we cannot anymore. The next step is you take your comparators, and you're going to basically walk on the chests or hoppers and just place 1 per. Super duper simple. And remember how I said you're going to use your hoppers very fast? Well, we got another row of hoppers coming in. This time you have to shift walk, and you're just going to one by one click on every single comparator. And they're really skinny, so you got to be real careful. You do not want to actually click down and place it directly on that hopper. I guess that screws it up. Once again, I used a YouTube video for this design. This is not my own design, so I'm just kind of passing along my understanding of how this works, if that makes sense. But from there, we have enough hoppers. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the next layer. Alrighty, for the third and final layer of hoppers, what I like to do is just called a snake, essentially. And it's going to cross over here, go down, cross over, come back, cross over, go down, cross over down there. You just got to keep that in mind. It's the easiest way to do it, because you really don't want to have the hoppers go back that way and then cross and be uniform, because you just use so many more hoppers. But you just got to keep in mind where you're crossing is what I'm getting at. And I'm going to place that right there. And then you can start building your way backwards from this starting location like this. Let me bounce back up. Perfect. and you just keep building, keep building, keep building. And you obviously with hoppers, you want to start using or building the hoppers off of like the furthest point and then work backwards. Because if you do it the other way, if I build the hoppers this way, then they would be traveling the opposite direction. If you know how hoppers work, you know what I'm saying. If you don't know how hoppers work, then I'm probably speaking a foreign language, but it makes sense. Trust me, it makes sense. And you can see 2 stacks of hoppers is really not going to get me all that far. Unfortunately, I think we're going to connect it. Oh yeah, we're going to be able to connect it, but not by much. There we go. We have 5 leftover hoppers. So almost 2.5 stacks of iron blocks gets me enough hoppers for one little stretch, one little hallway here. Absolutely ridiculous how much iron goes into this. Now, I'm going to build another one of these buildings for like food and like crops and stuff. And the bottom 2 layers are going to be the same. So that bottom layer of hoppers, this layer of hoppers is going to be the same. I'm going to try a different method for this top layer. Instead of using these hoppers here, I'm going to try conveyor belts. I'm willing to risk items for like food and like seeds and stuff. I'm willing to, because if they're on conveyor belts, there's a chance they could glitch out or despawn. Supposedly they're really reliable, but I am skeptical. So I am just not going to use it for this building because this building's going to have quite a bit of valuables. But the next building, I will attempt that and see if I can get it to work. Since I'm actually going to have to dig out these 2 strips here, I'm going to use a silk touch pickaxe, and I'm going to get enough stone that I could actually go and finish that last one real quick. There we go. That was purely just so I can get enough stone. I'm going to go ahead and mine this layer out here now, and we'll replace it with stone. Alrighty, the next step that I'm missing and the only thing remaining for the redstone portion of this contraption is you just actually got to put redstone on all 3 of these blocks like this. Unfortunately, as you can tell by my very low amount of redstone, we're not going to be able to complete this row right now. I'm going to go ahead and move down. I'm going to place as much stuff as I can here as well, just to try to help my inventory out a little bit, like all these redstone torches. We might as well place them. We don't have enough hoppers or anything to complete this row, and we're definitely not going to have enough iron for quite some time, but that is a-okay. And that's going to be all we can afford in this row, because we don't have enough stone to put on top of it. However, we have this, and just kidding, because I haven't dug it out. So, nope, that's probably going to be it. I guess we can put down some of our iron chest. I don't think I finished this row here, did I? Oh, I did. Huh. Look at that, I did. I had exact change. All right, all these iron chests are going to go over here. Just like that, and I have 8 left over, so we're going to bounce over to here. We could put 8 more down, and I'm only 8 iron chests short of being able to place them all down. Now, mind you, I need a bunch of iron and gold chest upgrades. A lot of these wooden chests I'm going to turn into iron and gold chests if the supply and demand requires me to. I already did it to some in these front 2 rows here. The reason why I'm staggering it wood, iron is to save my iron and gold until I absolutely need it. Yeah, so you can see I've already upgraded a few. Iron chests you can put next to each other. They won't combine like normal chests. Same with gold, but it's just they're so expensive. So I'm trying to only upgrade the ones I need. Obviously the cobblestone one and the dirt one, I had so much of both of those, I had to upgrade them. And unfortunately, yep, we are going to have to put all this... Oh, wait a minute. I still have an entire stack of iron blocks. I was thinking that was concrete or something. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We are not out of this yet. We still need redstone, so that's not out of the picture. Actually, we'll hold on to that. Let's go get redstone, and then we'll tinker with that a little bit more. All right, I have officially loaded this chest up with cobblestone. Fortunately, it's going to take a while for it to catch up, but yeah, all the aluminum and titanium's done, which is freaking awesome. That is a ton of it. I'm just going to leave it in there for now. I know that the cobblestone's going to fill it up pretty quick. Nope, never mind. Already there. We got a stack of aluminum blocks out of that. I wanted to clear up a little bit more space for the stone because we're going to be needing that here relatively soon. I had to come up here anyway to grab some more redstone. There we go. I do have some iron blocks in here. I thought, oh, maybe not. Nope, I have already used them. Same with redstone blocks. It looks like I'm going to be taking the rest of them. Crap. I don't have any more redstone in here. I have a stockpile of ores in these 2 backpacks, though, so maybe I crack that open at some point. Or maybe I just go mining. I haven't done a mining episode in a while, so maybe that'll be next episode. While I'm here, I also am aware that I will be short on leather coming up here soon, and only 21 leather in there. I have more leather upstairs, but that's my backpack leather, and I don't really want to tap into that. So we're just going to have to make do with that 21 leather for now. Uh, Shoot, yeah, we're not going to have any more iron, unfortunately. But we'll go back to the storage here and pick up where we left off. Alrighty, picking up where we left off, we are just going to fill all of this in with redstone dust. Just like that. We're still in a stone shortage, so I am not going to be able to go any further in this direction. As of right now, that is okay. We'll go ahead and put all of this back in the chest, and we will pick up with the next part, which is putting in all the filler blocks into the hoppers that act as like a key that I was talking about just a little bit ago. Having a stack of iron blocks in here is good, though. I am absolutely okay with that. Fortunately, we're not going to have enough of these leaves up here. These are the ones that I actually need to get it to work. I have other leaves, but I don't really have enough levels to rename them. And renaming them is pretty important, at least to me, because if you don't rename them and I put regular oak leaves in, it's going to fry my whole auto sorter essentially. However, if you put an item in and you rename it, you can put regular oak leaves in and they'll still sort themselves. They won't actually intermingle with these renamed version of the leaves, which is cool. And leaves are like probably the cheapest material you can get. I was going to use dirt at first, but I was like, I literally can just grow leaves, which I'm doing. I've made like my own little forest right there. That's a man-made forest. And I've just been going over there and shearing the hell out of the leaves every once in a while. But alrighty, so this next step is pretty boring. Alrighty, so the next step, and I don't know the math behind it. I think it has something to do with the amount of blocks that are in this hopper. The more blocks in it, the more of a redstone pulse it gives off, and that's what all this is essentially for. And the maximum you can have in here before it gives off too big of a pulse is going to be 45. I think it'd be because you got 41, 2, 3, 4, and then the item that you want to be sorted is here 45. If you go any more than that, it starts kicking blocks out, so you can't have more than 45. Essentially, that's what I think it means. And you can see when you put the items in it, it powers up too. So essentially what you do is you just go one by one and do a little something like that. And like I said, it is boring. And we're not going to have enough to get this whole row done, unfortunately, right now. Now, something you could do if you have a very, very, very cheap material such as dirt, you just need 45 total blocks in here. So you could do 41 dirt right here and then 4 leaves here as placeholders. That would work. And then you would save 40 leaves. I'm just doing 44 leaves across the board just because it's simple and to my liking. Let me just make sure because I'm talking while I'm working and sometimes I make mistakes when I do that. So I just want to double check. And there we go. We are officially about halfway down, but we are out of renamed leaves. And I do not have enough levels to continue naming them. Good news, I do have a couple of mob spawners. So we can go pay them a visit. Drop off some stuff here. Also, I brought some anvils. I kept breaking all my anvils, so I brought a couple extra anvils for me. Obviously, when you're renaming that many stacks of items, you're going to go through anvils pretty quickly. Before I go to my mob farm, let me come over here to this lava pit because I've been using so much lava smelting down this iron and cobblestone and all this stuff. Even potatoes. I've been doing potatoes. Alrighty, we are at my little mob farm here. But right next to it is that old iron farm I built. And I haven't been here in a while. And 39 iron ingots in it. We will take it. Hey, every iron ingot's going to count for this project. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And a few more iron golems may spawn while I'm down here. At some point, I need to build a villager breeder. And kind of expand that farm a little bit. I feel like that would help it out. But, yep, this is going to be my life for the next 20 to 30 minutes. Alrighty, that should be good. I could be here for a while. I actually went back over to the storage facility, grabbed all those leaves, put them in my backpack, and then renamed. I figured it'd be easier to get, levels 1 through 4 rather than get 30 levels combined. Coming back over here, we did get a couple more iron golems while we were AFK. Well, not AFKing, but fighting the Vindicators. Working that spawner. Okay, they're calling my name. One more time. Oh, they're about to drop. I know it. This is all the stuff we had. Some of this was in here before. I think we had a stack or two in here already when we came here today. But you can see just how many emeralds this little farm gets us. And it is absolutely incredible. And it's so hard to leave this farm. It's so hard to leave. Every time I kill him, I know I'm getting more emeralds. So it's really hard to leave. Let me go ahead and sleep the night away. Better sleep before I go back over to that village. You know, back when I made those two farms, the pillager farm or grinder, and then the actual iron farm there, I didn't do it the best way possible. I changed a bunch of villagers back. Like I got a bunch of golden apples and a bunch of weakness potions, and I actually changed them back. I could have done that to a couple and then built a breeder. But I feel like we've gotten several stacks of iron from that iron farm, so in a way it is kind of paying itself off, which you knew it would, but, you know, it's not gold, but we've been using so much iron. Iron's just as important. I would like to make it a little bit more efficient. I feel like that iron farm over there is not super duper efficient, so maybe that's something we can do in the future. Let's go ahead and put iron in here. Got a little bit more there. And then let's take a bunch of these leaves. I don't need that many, actually, now that I think about it. But we'll take a bunch of these leaves and see if we can't finish up this row of hoppers. Alrighty, here we go. I was able to make my little stacks of 41. I found it's easier if you just ahead of time make a stack of 41. And that way you could just throw it right on up there like that. Technically, it doesn't have to be 41. You could do 44 divided by 4, 11, 11, 11, 11, if that makes you feel all warm and fuzzy. If you're a little OCD, I guess. It just, like I said, there has to be 45 blocks total in this thing. I guess what order you put it in, I don't think matters. The only thing that matters is this very front block. Whatever this front one is what the item being processed will be. So just keep that in mind. But these other 4, yeah, as long as they total 44, it doesn't really matter what they are. You just, once again, if you do this, you don't want it to be an item that will be being sorted by the machine, because it'll screw it all up. So, or if it is an item that'll be sorted by the machine, like leaves, just rename it like I did, and you'll be good to go. And there we go. It is completely done. So now that that is completed, no, I don't want to, I was going to put this on yet. I need to go through and put all the keys in there, essentially. That way, if there is that extra item that I accidentally put in the sorter, it doesn't just go to the first available slot and just find a new temporary home. So let's figure out what we could put in here. Now, I'm going to be honest, this is going to seem like an absolute waste of time and resources. But if you think about it, there are 16 different types of concrete, and then that would mean there's 16 different types of concrete powder. We just so happen to have 32 available slots here. So if I were to go home and craft every single type and color of concrete, I could turn this into the concrete row. And I will be using a lot of concrete in the future, so I think that is going to be the play. All right, first things first, I have a bunch of sand and gravel set aside right here, so we're going to go ahead and grab that just because. I also have some leftover white concrete and light blue concrete, so we're just going to take, ooh, do we do 16 of each? We'll do 16 of each. We'll take 16 of each just to make sure I have enough. I think I'm going to do 8 concrete powder, 8 concrete per color. That way I know that's enough. Technically, you only need 2. Each, one for the item frame and then one for the key, but oh well, we're gonna go ahead and make a couple of extra credit. Never hurt anybody. Let's go ahead and put this up here. Let's check that furnace. That furnace has been going a while. I think it actually keeps going while I'm away. Yeah, I mean it has to. There's no way it's done 5 stacks in just a short little time. So yeah, it kept going while we were gone. That is awesome. No complaints from me. It just so happens I have 5 more stacks of cobblestone ready to go as well. Where? Oh, okay, it went in the hopper. I said, I filled this thing completely up, so where did the extra cobblestone go? And it went in the hopper, to answer my own question. Cool. So as long as we are tracking that, I'm going to go ahead and grab all of this as well real quick. There we go. 56 blocks of titanium and 21 more blocks of aluminum. We have absolutely been killing it so far this episode. I have a bunch of lava in here as well for that specific furnace here, just to make sure that it doesn't run out. I ran through my bamboo stockpile like immediately, so we switched to a little bit more of a heavy duty smelting item or burning item, and that is going to be lava. Let me go ahead and sort out my inventory and we will get back to the concrete. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Since I'm up here, let's find a stack of redstone ore. Like we said, we need redstone, so we're going to go ahead and grab that. You can see I have a stack of iron blocks here. I almost want to keep that for a reserve. I'm looking for a stack of iron ore, and unfortunately, it looks like we've already picked this backpack clean. Since I took an item out, though, let's go ahead and put another item in, and that's going to be a stack of aluminum blocks. Let's check this other backpack. Okay, no, so see, yeah, oh my goodness, holy shit, there's a ton of iron in this one. I think what happened is that first backpack I picked up, I said, okay, I'm going to use whatever I need in it, because I have this backpack for ore. But my goodness, I guess, yeah, we'll take 2 stacks. Let's make it 3. We're going to need it. We are absolutely going to need it. I don't know if I have 3 stacks to put in here. I mean, we got 1, 2. Yeah, okay, we sure do. Sweet. 1, 2, 3. Just load it on up. Put it up there. And then this is not something that's going to be done this episode. This is going to be something that's going to take a while, and I'm going to have to kind of do over the course of the next couple of episodes. Right here, I'm going to try to turn all of this into crystals. Now, problem. I put some uranium in there, and uranium is obviously radioactive, so we got to be real careful. There we go. It's only 12 radiation a second, which isn't all that bad. I've definitely had worse, but there we go. We're going to go ahead and put that in, and that should clear it up, so iron will be going for a while now. Since I also grabbed more material, let me go ahead and put it right here like so. All right, now that we're now no longer distracted with ores and such, let's go ahead and grab some dyes and start making some concrete. Alrighty, so we have all of our gravel and stuff up there. Let's come down here and start picking out colors. I think first things first, we're going to need red. So we got some red right there. I see yellow. I see 2 yellow dye right there. Let's go ahead and use it. Whoops. Oh my goodness. You got to turn it into dye, Spencer. What are you doing? 8. Okay, so yeah, that is incorrect. I'm going to need one more. 16. There we go. 16. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the same order as the rainbow. It just helps me keep track of what colors I do and do not have a little bit better. Alrighty, using flowers, cocoa beans, ink sacs, bone meal, and yeah, probably a few other things. Cactus, that's what it was. I think I have every single color I am going to need, so let's go ahead and give it a whirl. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep it in the order of the rainbow just to try to help me out with remembering which colors I do and do not have in cyan. I do not have cyan. That is not good. Oh, boy. Aha! The swamp flower will give me cyan dye. Look at that, man. That's why I collect flowers. All you guys that clown on me for hoarding. Ha! I win this round. Whoa! I had a lot more purple than I intended. Yep, look at that. I had way more purple than I intended. That is going to be okay, though, because I have so much sand and gravel that it is not going to matter. And once I get into these colors, it doesn't really matter. But there we go. That should be 16, and it is. You have 8 there and 8 there. So we now have every single color of concrete, which is going to be great. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and move my shovel up, and it is nighttime, so let's go sleep because those zombies are coming. I can see them on the mini-map. They are on their way. Now, unfortunately, it is also wintertime. Oh, my goodness. That is a lot of zombies. All right, it is winter time, and I'm just gonna leave. We should be. No, we're not. I'll brave the zombies. I'm gonna get just a little bit more stone while we're here, because we're not here too often. Here we go. 2 more stacks of stone, just about. Storage. There we go. All right. So now we need to turn some of this into hardened concrete. Now, I guess I don't need to have 8 hardened concrete. That seems like a little bit much. I'm wondering if there is something nearby that I could use. Or, I'm going to be honest, this is going to have to do it for us. It's, I'm not even going to break it, to be honest. We're just going to place stuff down like this. 3, 4. You know what? Yeah, we will use half. There we go. And then we can grab our fancy schmancy water bucket. And we don't want to leave it down for too much or too long because it'll freeze. There's a good chance it's going to freeze anyway. And we just do a little something like that. Perfect. And let me move this stone. Let me move it down. I am going to put all the stuff we have completed up top like that, just to clear up some inventory space. Now, what would absolutely suck is if I mined the ice now with Vein Miner. That may throw a wrench into my plans. You know, it didn't help that I'm doing this on the edge of Techtopian Village, this little thing right here. That's what this is. It's an edge of a village. If you've never seen that before, you're new to the series, you're like, what the hell is that? That's what it is, to answer your question. Also, using my brain, I only have to put it in the 2 diagonal corners, like so. And that's way easier. That is way, way easier. I like that. And there we go. We have completed it. We have at least 8 hardened concrete and 8 concrete powder. You may ask yourself, why would I be storing concrete powder? That seems stupid. There's times where I craft a shitload of it and then don't turn it all into hardened concrete. And then I have leftovers from projects. So that is kind of the method to my madness there. Let's go ahead and put some of these items up here that I'm not using just to clear up a little bit of inventory space. We'll put this other anvil down into here, or put it in this chest. And then we are good to go. We should be able to start filling up all of these item frames and the hoppers behind them. And I'm going to do what I like to do, and that is pretty much get rid of just about everything in my inventory. At least out of the hotbar. It just makes the process go so much faster. Normally I do all the concrete powder together, and then I do all the hardened concrete down there. We're just going to do it like this. Oh, which way do I want to do it? I feel as if I have more concrete powder than concrete, so I'm going to do it a little backwards. We're going to do concrete powder, concrete powder, concrete powder, concrete powder, just like that. And as long as I remember that on the back side, and I am a goofball, I need my slime sling to get back here. I forgot. But then you just put 1 concrete up there like that, 1 concrete powder, and you just match them with the item frame. Just like that. Cool. So now, unfortunately, I made a mistake, and I should really only do 6 items at a time, but that'll be okay. There we go. You can put all the items up there like that, and then just keep going. But I'm going to do the concrete first. I just like to keep it in order on my hotbar, the order I go. Technically, you could start right back here, and I guess we will. We'll just pick up right here where we left off, concrete powder. And doing it this way is a good way to double check yourself. So right here, the light blue is where I left off. So I should be able to do light blue like this, and it should just line up perfectly, and it does. So that's a good way to double check yourself. Make sure you didn't click the wrong hopper in the back, which I have done before. So fair warning, it happens. So you just got to be careful. Whoops. Let me go and swap those. Perfect. And we're just about done. We are just about done. Alrighty, there you go. We have done it. Exactly 32 chests in a row here. And that's why I planned it like this, to have it 32. Because of just the amount of colors in the game. Sometimes it gets a little wonky. Like technically terracotta, you have 32 different types of colored terracotta. And then the 17th block of terracotta, which is just like basic your hardened clay terracotta. It's uncolored. So sometimes it gets a little wonky like that, but you can do that, just 17, and then find 15 other random blocks to kind of fit in the back or whatever you want. But yeah, there you go. I have every single type of concrete lined up just like that. Now, if you don't trust yourself, there is a way to double check and just make sure everything's working so far. So first things first, just remind you it's a snake. So it's going to go that way, go to the end. It's going to go down there and then come forward. So the brown chest, or the brown concrete chest, is going to get its concrete before this red one will, just time-wise. I only mention that because if you want to check, you could put your 6 brown concrete in here and then walk away. I'm going to go ahead and sleep here in just a minute. And then it does take a few minutes because you got to think it's got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just so on and so forth, and down and back and down. So it does take a few minutes. But it is something you can empty your inventory into and then walk away from, which is, I think, wonderful, especially for a world like this, which I'm going to be playing for quite some time. We're going to sleep, and then we're going to make sure that brown concrete is at the end like it is supposed to. It's a way to double check your system prior to the new, I guess new aisle. I was trying to think of a word for it, but yeah, just a whole new wing here before it opens up. It's a good way to check to make sure, hey, yep, all 6 brown concrete made it. So there's not a problem with any of these wings so far. Over here is perfect. You're good to expand, because what you don't want to do is have an issue over here. Put this hopper down like this, and then the concrete just disappears, and now you're going chest by chest by chest by chest by chest in 4 different rows, trying to figure out where it is. Now, mind you, there's only 5 concrete in here. There was 6. The very first time you ever use it, there's going to be 1 in the back hopper down here. That's fine. There's only ever going to be 1, unless you overfill. If you completely fill up this entire chest, and then this hopper will fill up. Once this hopper fills up, it is going to kick all the extra concrete to the end of the system, to the end of the chain. This system will not be able to hold any more concrete in this chest. It'll just flush it out into overflow. So that's why I also do it like that. But with that, man, it should be working. We are going to go ahead and offload every piece of concrete we have in our inventory here. And since it's an auto sorter, it does not matter what way you put it in here. It doesn't matter if you mix it all up like this. You just put them in, and it'll do its thing. And it'll find the right chest, as long as I didn't grab any other items. That's actually kind of a concern of mine now. I think I grabbed some extra stuff. We'll see. It'll just flush it to the end there. Let me go back. Let's see. How does it look at the end here? No. Yep. Break that. Break that. Once again, you do not want overflow going into these chests over here. That will screw it all up. Looks like I caught it in time. I don't think I have any overflow anyway, but you just want to make sure that you know where it's going. The end of the line is right here, so if anything extra goes through the system, it'll be in this hopper right here, and I know where to check. It's not scattered among all those unfinished chests and hoppers yet, which is good news. But all right, man. Sweet. That is going to be, I think, it for this part of the episode. I take that back. I'll keep working here a little bit. We still have probably a good couple of real-life hours worth of grinding in order to get this finished. I think I'm going to try to finish this episode. I may just do another montage here of me working on this. You can see what I'm doing. I'm going home. I'm trying to process iron, get iron from home, bring it over here, make all these hoppers and stuff, and then we go item by item, filling in just it all. I mean, you got to do the leaves in the back, and then you got to do the item frames here, which I do not have yet, so I'm going to need more leather. I mean, I need pretty much everything at this point. Stone. we are hurting. Alrighty, we are back, and so our goal has not been met. I am actually struggling a ton. Over the course of 3 days, I've been on and off AFKing, trying to generate enough power in order to power the ore acidizer and the centrifuges. And unfortunately, I've only been able to get like a little over a block. It's really tough, because if I don't come back in time for nighttime, then obviously the solar power generator won't work at night. So I'm just kind of wasting time, and this thing really isn't generating a whole lot during the day. Actually, with the ore acidizer going, it's going down. So it is clear. I was going to do this next episode because I was going to tinker with HPM a little bit more heavily. We'll still do that. I still have other plans. We're going to get a little bit ahead of ourselves here, and we're going to try to generate a new type of power called ZPE potential generator. We need a bottom and a top. And we're only going to strive for one of each just to make sure it works and we know what we're doing. But if we can craft this, and I think we can, the only part I'm not sure about are these. I'm going to need, what, 8 dash ingots? Yeah. No, I only need 4 technically, because it's 1 per. Okay. So if I have 4 dash ingots, okay, well, yeah, that is the problem. So we have 1 dash ingot up there, or in that chest. I'm going to go check up here. Nothing in this chest, and I do not see dash blend in this chest. So that means we could be at a roadblock here if I cannot generate or craft dash. Yeah, so here's the downside. The method I think I used to use. Yeah. I was going to say the method I used to use looks like one of the ways it was created was deprecated, which means it has basically been removed from the game. This Dash Dino Spear. It even says soon to be deprecated, so we might be in trouble. No, there are other ways. Don't get me wrong, there are other ways. There's this Dash Blend that I can go through and try to get every single one of these. Oh my goodness. Well, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. We have a redstone furnace. Supposedly, if I cook rare earth crystals, and I mean, I assume that's just in any furnace. Why does it have to be electric? Yeah, okay, it is. It's in any furnace. So if I get rare earth crystals, I could just cook them, and it turns into a dash blend. That is doable. Okay, so we found a way. Problem being, oh no, they're done. Wow, look at that. I am done just like that. My inventory. No, it's not. No, 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 no. We're still good. I was going to say this is full. Rare earth ore. Perfect. So I have some right there actually waiting to go. And then I have 22 more. I did a little bit of mining while I was waiting. Unfortunately, I mean, I found a couple of cool things. Found some diamonds. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Let me go and pull it out here. Yeah, we got a couple of diamonds down here and a bunch of other ores that I've actually been slowly kind of putting into here. This is like my queue, but unfortunately, all this coal powder here is taking up a ton of space. So I'm going to have to go find a new home for that. Maybe let me just do that real quick. And if you're going to be transporting coal powder, you always put on the face mask and the filter, because we learned the hard way that much coal powder will absolutely demolish you. Oh, well, there is a storm on the horizon. I think that's just a thunderstorm. I actually think storms are still off from last episode when we were exploring, and we had a ton of bad lag, and I think I turned hurricanes and stuff off. So let's go ahead and turn those back on. Because I do not want to keep them off. I don't think that's fun. On, off. We're definitely keeping that off. Let's change that to medium and medium. Minimum days. We'll do at least. Yeah, we'll keep it at 10 for now. I mean, we'll bump it lower at some point. But for right now, yeah, we'll bump it up. All right, let's go ahead and put all of this coal up here. I think there's room in one of these backpacks. All right. New temporary home for the coal powder. It's going to be in there. I just moved it from one temporary home to another. All right. We're going to get there eventually. It's not really my top priority right now. I'm really bummed I crafted so many of these curtains, this Mr. Crayfish curtain mod. For some reason, they don't work. Depending on which direction you place them is what color they are, and I am not a super big fan of that. So yeah, I'm going to get rid of all those and replace them at some point. But all right, back to this. Well, wait a minute. If I take the rare earth crystals and I actually use the centrifuge, I get 2 instead of 1. That's going to be a play. And if I just take rare earth ore, I only get 1, but I get these other items as well. So that's kind of cool. All right, so we'll go ahead and put them in a centrifuge. We got 4 ready to go. That's going to be more than enough for us, to be honest. I don't think we're going to need even that, because that's technically going to be 8 dash blends, so that's going to be perfect. Let me just double check this radar over here and make sure that it is still not growing. No, okay, it's red. It is hit its peak. I'm still doing what I said I was going to do and turn a bunch of cobblestone into stone. You can see I got a bunch up there. I already kind of showed you this chest of the random stuff I got. I'm smelting a ton of items, man. It is taking forever. Alrighty, just like that, we have 8 dash blend and a couple other items. Let's look at this recipe one more time, because I was looking at this, and I think the hardest thing by far was this dash compound plate. But with that, we should be good. And to create this, it's going to be mercury, a light oil, dash blend in order to create a dash ingot like we need. I think we have the mercury. I'm going to double check. We definitely have light oil. Problem being, our only chemical plant, this one right here, is busy making hydrogen peroxide for our ore acidizer. So we go down the rabbit hole of HBM, nuclear tech, mod, and survival, which means we're probably going to craft a second chemical plant. Let me look at that recipe one more time. Alrighty, that is the last item I need, I believe. I believe if I put all of these in here like so, we will be able to create another chemical plant. That didn't take me too long, actually. That was pretty easy. I looked at the recipe and I said, okay, I'm going to give this a go. Nothing on there looked too difficult. It's just a lot, you know, a lot of different items. It's really easy to miss an item. That's kind of what I was looking at a little bit more. With that, I'm going to go ahead and pull out my trusty shovel. We're going to dig a little bit of a space here. A little bit of a cutout, make it look a little bit nicer. Like that. We are going to have to move that torch, and we should be able to put it down right here. Well, I put it down in the wrong spot. Let me see. Maybe I put it sideways. Let's do one more over. Yeah, there we go. Oh, perfect. Perfect. All right, cool. Now we can hook it in to our power grid, which thankfully is extremely out of the way. Why would it be? Alrighty, I just went ahead and put it underground so it's not super duper ugly. It still doesn't look the greatest. It is hooked into power, so that is good. Now, if we go back to our ZPE generators, and this time I'll actually type CPE, so it's a little bit easier to find. Dash blend. We need to figure out how to craft the dash ingot chemical plant. All right, sorry, I was clicking everything but the right thing there. Okay. So we have, I think, 8, and then it's going to be 200 per, so we need 800 mega MB. I think it's megabytes. I don't know. I can't remember what MB stands for, actually. Aha, we do have some small drops of mercury. I think I need an actual bottle, though. I do, and I have a couple. Good. Good, good, good. There we go. We got 8 of those bottles left. And it's all kind of coming back to me now. I remember you only need 1 bottle. I put all the bottles in last time and I couldn't get them out and I wasted a shit ton of mercury. Not going to do that again. I learned my lesson. I actually think the other thing we need in here is, yeah, it's right there, right? Light oil. Yeah, there it is. Perfect. So we got the 2 items we need. We can come over here, and if I open the right chest, get my dash blend. Let's just go ahead. I have to assume that there's going to be more dash blend in here now. Yeah, wow, actually, it's 1 away from being done. That is pretty cool. Let's just throw it all in. I might as well. We got 1 more on the way here. The last thing I need to do, and I can't remember if I need paper. I think I just need paper and dye, but I need to craft the actual crafting recipe for this chemical thing. Dash production. I think that's going to be right. I hope. That was a gamble. I'm not entirely sure. I should have double checked. But we should be able to put this in here. And I think we have enough exactly. Oh, no. I think I might need 1 more of each, actually. We'll see. Let's see. There we go. Okay, well, the good news is it's working. It's 1,000, 1,010. This drops to 800 and 800. We will need 1 more bottle of each. 800, 809. All right, so we're going to need 1 more bottle of each. Part of me almost doesn't want to call it there, though, knowing that we have so much more dash powder over here. Ooh, that's just mean, man. I don't deserve that. I don't deserve that at all. What did I do to deserve that? That's not cool. Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put 1 more of each in. There we go. There's that one, and there's that one. We'll at least get 10 dash ingots. And then if I remember what I am doing come morning, I guess we'll pick up where we left off. I could easily make more. You know, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Let's grab 2 more of each. Put those there. Put those there. Put those 10 up there. Now we should get 20 dash ingots. That's going to be a lot. I don't think we're going to need any more than that anytime soon. And then that way, that's at least going throughout the night. Unfortunately, I am not going to be able to generate any electricity because it's going to be nighttime for a while. All right, 20 dash ingots are done. We don't have any light oil or mercury, so that is good. We're not wasting any this time. That is really the goal. I'm sick and tired of wasting that shit. We're going to go ahead and put that up there. And then we'll put the rest of our dash, if I can talk in here, 36 dash. Ah, it's good, man. I'm glad I found that recipe. That is sweet. Funny enough, we only need 4. I'm going to take 8. I may lie, and we may craft a little bit more than we originally planned. We'll see how easy the rest of the stuff is. That's going to kind of be the kicker. For both of them, we're going to need 4 of these lead plates, it looks like. And it does do immersive engineering. So we will go ahead and do that. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to have any lead down here because I don't think I've used lead yet in any crafting recipes. So we'll go ahead and bounce up here, get some lead. We have 28 lead in this chest, and we're going to go ahead and let it ride. We'll go ahead and start out by just making enough for 1 of each because, like I said, I do want to test it. I am almost positive it's going to work on the first attempt, but I just would rather test it first before we invest a shit ton of materials into this. So I'll go ahead and put 4 up here. Actually, I'm not even done. I need polymer powder still and high-speed steel. We need to craft these dash compound plates first. All right, sweet. Well, we had plenty of polymer bars, so we just have to shred it. Bad news, our shredders are toast, it would appear. So let's figure out how to fix those. Ah, look at that. I remembered how to fix them. Sweet, man. Whoops, let's do it the right way. Oh, it's not making any noise. Oh, there it goes. I was like, I am getting some glitchy audio. We are at 9.76 and slowly climbing energy, and that is not great at all. All right, 8 polymer bars, and now we just need 2 high-speed steel ingots. I might have that. No, why would I? Why would I have that at all? I don't know. I don't even know why I ask myself anymore. It's just steel powder and tungsten powder. Oh. Oh, look at that, man. We have a perfect amount. Alrighty, there we go. I had to come inside to smelt it because that furnace out there is just so backed up, and it's not going to end anytime soon. I'm cooking so many potatoes, stone, just, oh my goodness, everything you can think of. I did a bunch of eggs too while we're gone. My egg farm was overflowing. There we go. We got 8 of those dash compound plates, and we're going to have some extra high-speed steel for our next project. I always like getting extra credit. You guys know me. With that, we have our lead plates, so we got way too many of these, actually. Let's just keep 2. We'll put the rest into here. Extra credit, always good. So we got 2 of those, our lead plates. Next on the agenda is going to be an overclocked circuit. And that's going to be both of them. Thankfully, I do have 4 of those. All right, we are almost there. We need magnetized tungsten ingots. Well, no matter how I chalk it up, it's going to be a tungsten ingot or tungsten powder and then a shrebidium nugget. I do think I have some of those. I just really hope I have enough. I think I have at least 1 or 2 from a previous adventure. If not, that is going to delay this episode. Uh-oh. Well, anytime you pick one of those up, it's going to blind you, unfortunately. But we have 1 down there. I'm just hoping, fingers crossed, I can come upstairs to my nugget chest. Or my random item chest, and there's at least 1 more. If not, we might be in trouble. Oh, thank goodness, there's 3 more. Cool. Cool. And we are going to try to put it in the same chest as the other one. Cool. I'm going to only try to craft as much as I need, which might be 2, but there's those wires as well, which look like they may... Yeah, I was just going to say, may require magnetized tungsten ingots. Yeah, so we're only going to be able to craft 1 set of these, I think. If that, we will see. I don't even know if we can craft it now. I think we might be short on those. Man, we just got so much shit in here to put it one way or another. All right, we got coal and lead in there for some reason. Let's just get rid of that stuff. I don't know why we need coal or lead ore. I don't think we do. We're going to go ahead and put that stuff into here. I can't afford to run this right now. I don't have enough power, so that unfortunately that chest is just, or that crate's going to sit right there. Alrighty, we got the tungsten. Let me just make sure, yep, I'm in front of the right furnace here. Because I'm going to go blind the second I put this in here. Unfortunately. But there we go. Not too bad. Let's go ahead and whip out my Geiger counter. I just want to see how I'm doing radiation-wise after holding all that. Not too bad. I can live with that, actually. I'm just going to go ahead and put it back. If I remember, I'll decontaminate. But, whoops. Let's make sure we put that back. There we go. If I remember, I'll decontaminate. If not, I don't really care. It's funny how this is radioactive until you cook it with tungsten, and then magically it's no longer radioactive. Isn't that funny how that works? After it cooks the second one, I'm just going to double check recipes because I think I'm going to be 2 wires short. Yeah, I think I'm going to be 2 wires short. Ooh, wait a minute. No, I'm not. I'm going to be way more than 2 wires short. Oh, no. Because it's 2 ingots per. So that's all 4 right there. I'm not even going to have enough. Because to craft one of these, yeah, it only shreds it into 6. Well, okay, it does 8 here. I at least need 2 more of those shrebidium nuggets. Yeah, because, I mean, even if it was tungsten powder, it's still 1 nugget per, so it doesn't really matter what you do. I just went through every possible recipe, and I didn't see a single way to do it without those nuggets. And unfortunately, I just used my last 4. You know, thankfully, I had 4, you know, if we want to say anything. You know, I guess one thing to do, and I didn't even think about this. Here, let's go back into it, right? Click this. Whoops, can I click the right thing, please? There. How do we get one of these? You know, maybe I could get it some other way other than finding it. So there's supposedly a bunch of different Sherbidium ores. It looks like there's a couple different versions, including one in the Nether. I'll double check if I have any of that. I don't think I do. Okay, I am looking at the wiki, and I actually have a question. We're gonna give this a shot. It is an absolute gamble, all right? We are going to be dealing with potential nuclear fallout. Not really. Uh, we are going to be using some radioactive items, though. So let's go ahead and prepare for that. First things first, I need to go up here and get some of those nuclear waste barrels that we've already collected from those nuclear power plants. So thankfully, we found those the last 2 episodes. Because without these right here, I think we would be screwed. I think we would be screwed. I'm going to go ahead and put the whole stack in my backpack here and just see if it'll work. I'm going to go ahead and put all the materials I'm using up there. Yes, and I'm going to offload real quick. But I also need some uranium. Let's go ahead and get some uranium. Let's see if this method works. I should have some more in my where is it? Right here, my crate right here. This is what I was looking for. 36. I'm going to grab all 36. I don't think I'm going to need all 36, but we will grab it anyway. Yeah, screw it. I'll keep this in my inventory up here. With that, we need a place where we can destroy some radioactive barrels. That's kind of the tricky thing, because I don't want to radiate anything too close to me that's too cool, you know? So, what are we thinking? We'll do OG nuclear power plant, all right? This place was already irradiated like hell once. How much damage could we do now? It is a desert, which I'm not too fond of, so we're going to bounce right over to here. And we're going to give it a go right here in the grass, because I could care less about dirt. Let's go ahead and destroy some of this. Now, this is just going to be a test, so I don't want to go too crazy. But what we are going to do is place 3 uranium down like that. And so the second I put this barrel down, it's going to be very radioactive. So I just want to make sure I have all my other tools on standby, such as my decontaminator and my radiation absorbers. And we are going to kind of run across a little ways. But when I put this down, it's going to start killing all this stuff here. Yep, there you go. Also, I should probably grab my Geiger counter. Wow, 6 radiation a second. That is quite a bit. All right, let's go ahead and put that here. I don't know how big of an explosion this is going to cause, but supposedly destroying that radioactive barrel next to uranium will create Sherbidium, which is what I'm after. Oh. Does that not work? Oh. Well, we could ask Old Reliable here, our little explosive device, if it'll be willing to do the job for us. I don't know. Let's try it. Uh-oh. That doesn't look like it worked at all. Matter of fact, that looked like it did worse. Wait, what's that? Uh-oh. Here, let me get out of here. Let me get out of here. Let me get on my little radiation or decontaminator. Scorched uranium ore. Okay. Well, that didn't work at all, so I don't really know what the wiki's talking about. Maybe it's a different version of HBM Nuclear Tech Mod. HBM Nuclear Tech Mod has multiple versions, so I actually do not know. Oh my goodness. This thing can't keep up. All right, let's bounce over to here. That is why I did it over there. I knew it wouldn't be a massive radius, but I definitely knew it would be enough to kind of screw it up for the long haul. So we did it near a power plant so that I kind of expect radioactive stuff. I didn't want to do it near home, you know. That would have just been awful. Alrighty, I have made the tough decision. We are just going to gamble. I could do more research, and I will. This video you guys are watching is like a compilation of like a real life week of me getting on and off this world trying to figure stuff out. I'm going to teleport all the way back over to the very first nuclear power plant. And so the kicker is there are certain structures nearby where I believe I could possibly find 2 more nuggets. I only need 2 more of those nuggets, 2 more of those Sherbidium nuggets. These structures here on the top floor have an opportunity, so we'll just raid the top floor. We'll have to come back and raid the rest of it some other time, but there's one up here, one here, one here. That's 3. I don't really expect to find 2 nuggets within those 3 structures. They could possibly also spawn in the antennas, so I guess we'll just go around and raid some structures for a little bit, and if I find anything crazy, I'll stop back by. Well, crate number 1 is not a success, and the way I'm rating it, I'm trying to do it in a way that doesn't, completely destroy the structure, so I know that, there's still stuff here and I have to come back at some point. That's kind of the tricky part about raiding right now is I'm not doing full raids on these buildings, just kind of the valuables chest. So, I don't want to raid the whole building, but yeah, we'll try the next one. Alrighty. Oh, that was a nomad. Chest number 2. Once again, nothing. That absolutely stinks. Fortunately, this building here, I actually already raided the top level, so there's only 2. Alright, there's a down ship right here. I'm going to take a peek in. There are some seeds. Alright, crash ship. Nothing in those. I didn't really expect those chests to have anything. This is the one. I usually expect to have something, and it does not, unfortunately. I'm going to put that gun up there as well, because I don't have a ton of inventory space. Alright, I'm working my way towards the top of this antenna. Sometimes these may have something. I'm not entirely sure. I'm trying to check here. I can't remember exactly where the crate was. Okay, it was right here. Nope. No nugget, but we did get a supply drop requester. That's kind of cool. Oh? Is that a sandstorm? Oh, look at that. There's a sandstorm. I was trying to look on the map of maybe something to do, but we got a massive sandstorm hitting this village over here. Look at it go. Holy cow. Man, I am glad to be on this side of the river, let me tell you. Sweet. That's cool. I really like that. I really like these sandstorms. I always think they're cool. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Let's get out of that. Let's get out of that. Yeah, the villagers are going to take damage. I forgot about that. That's kind of a risky thing about living in the desert. Okay, so unfortunately, there's not a lot of other structures nearby me over here. There are some, but they're so far away from each other. It's not really worth it. I guess we'll see, man. I'm going to go north. We're just going to bounce north, and we're going to try to find some new structures. I don't know. Maybe we'll get lucky. We'll explore some new chunks and hopefully get 2 nuggets, but it's not looking too good for us right now. Well, we have 2 more structures over here. We'll check these. No. No, but we got another supply drop requester. That's kind of cool. No, but mini nuke. That's kind of cool. Side note, I think this is the tree, one of the trees I'm missing right here, a mangrove. Yeah, I'm almost positive here. I put it in my book. We'll double check. Let's check our book here. Mangrove, it sure is. It's one of the woods I've discovered many, many times, but for some reason I have not mined these trees. Yeah, I know that even looks like a new type of sapling. So cool. At least we got something out of this trip, huh? There are 15 saplings and a stack and a half of that wood. At least I'm happy to have found that. All right, I'm going to be honest. That makes up for it a little bit. All right, I found a new village, and I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know what number this village is. Okay, no, but too many nukes and a supply drop requester is kind of badass. You know, we thought the Kiwi villages were close, but look at that village and that village right there. That's pretty damn close too, man. Credit where credit's due. Oh, that piggy definitely stepped on a freaking landmine, dude. Hell yeah. All right, we're going to activate this. I actually don't know what random village it is. It might be 6, but I put 7. It's not a meme. That's not a meme. Don't make it a meme. Please don't make it a meme. You know, the good news in all this, though, is I just found another lush desert, which is kind of cool. I like these biomes. These biomes look pretty badass, man. This may be one of the bigger lush deserts I've found so far. I'm going to be honest. This is a pretty decent sized one. There's an actual desert over here, too. I see a desert temple and a desert dungeon. It's not a very large desert so far. It's kind of skinny, but hey, a desert's a desert, man. All right, if I don't even get 1 nugget out of this structure, I'm just going to call it, and we'll have to think of something new, and I'll just go until I find my next village home. No nugget. We did get a supply drop requester. Once again, kind of cool. Now, in theory, right, I'm just thinking, right, I'm going to check the wiki. I'm going to do a little bit more testing, and I may even load up the test world just to, really see if there's anything I could do. One thing I do know, and this is completely possible, We have probably over 10 supply drop requesters now at this point. There is a radioactive supply drop that could potentially drop. And I do believe one of the items that could be in that radioactive barrel is a shribidium nugget. So that is always on the table. I'm going to try to look at ways to craft it or find it. I don't know. Is it possible to mine or in the nether or anything like that? I genuinely do not know. I want to look that up because I feel like that's going to be much easier. And there's another supply drop. I'm going to take that shribidium battery as well. That's kind of badass. I wonder, you know, this is kind of crappy. I wonder if I could just break down one of these batteries. It's like I know those are like wonderful, just great batteries to have. I'd hate to do that, but I need to generate power. And these 2 nuggets are just standing in my way. Well, okay. You know what? I know I said if I didn't find it in that structure, I was going to quit. And there's a village right there with the waystone. I'm looking for a waystone to go home. That is why I said that. However, there are 2 more factory buildings right here, and they haven't given me any nuggets, but they've had okay loot, so let's check them out. Here's number 1, and unfortunately, this one's going to be kind of a stinker. That sucks. And funny enough, right next to it on the map even is another factory. Let's check it out. I'll take those rockets, though, I guess. We'll have to come back and get some of the other loot and all these and whatnot, man. But gosh, I'm going to be real, man. When I explore, I kind of have a feeling when it's like, all right, that's enough. That's enough. I think my luck's running out. Or I have that feeling it's like, man, just a little bit longer. You're almost there. It's right around the corner. I don't know how I feel right now. It's like 50-50. I'll activate the waystone in this village, and we'll keep going because the cuts are quick. Oh, actually, scratch that. Yeah, there is no waystone in this village, so no matter what, I was going to keep going. See, that's a sign, man. I told you. It's a sign to keep going. Don't give up yet. We're right there. You know what's funny? I've gotten so high up here, I'm actually level with the slime island now. That's funny. You know, while I'm thinking about it, another option, and I thought of this originally, but I was hoping to do it on its own episode. I wanted to raid the other 2 nuclear power plants. We've gotten a few of those nuggets from those nuclear power plants, so there's a good chance there's more of them in the 2 power plants we have not raided. Like I said, I was trying to save it, but I mean, it may be time. We may just have to call it. All right, I am officially going to throw in the towel. This is random village number 8, I think. I don't even know. And we're going to go home. Unfortunately, that means we did a lot of stuff. I don't want to say for no reason, but to no avail. We are not going to be able to complete any of our goals this episode, unfortunately. I'm really torn between if I want to call this episode now and just admit defeat, and we come back in a new episode, all cheered up, better, better equipped, a little bit more better informed, and give it a better go. So the crazy thing is I can break this down. I can break the battery down. I'm curious what I can get. All my stuff just despawned in front of me. Did you see that? That was crazy. All those tanks and stuff despawned. That was kind of crazy. Let's look at recipes. Let's see if we can find it. 303 pages. Look, I only have 6 of these. That's the crazy thing. And I feel like there are other options still on the table, so I really don't want to break it down yet. I really don't. I want to say that this nether shribidium, or where's that, or the schist. Alrighty, I am back. My PC's mad at me because I went on a separate world, a test world, and did some tests. I learned a lot about shribidium because I have gotten it before in my previous world, and I couldn't remember how I did it. I was a lot more advanced technology-wise. I actually had a nuclear reactor, and there's a whole complicated way to explain it, but to be honest with you, for me to produce my own shribidium, the best way, the most efficient way is to go create a nuclear reactor so I can create enough power to power a specific piece of equipment that is like specifically designed for creating shribidium. The problem is that thing to make 1 shribidium needs more power than my solar power generator will produce in like 3 real life hours. So I'm not going to be sitting here AFKing for that long. And once again, we're only doing this to try to create another way to generate power so I can power my other equipment to produce enough iron so I can go finish a storage facility. We're a mile deep into this rabbit hole right now. Nothing is working out in our favor. I think when it comes to shribidium for the short-term goal, I think our best bet is to loot and most importantly start with the 2 remaining nuclear power plants that we haven't rated on the mini map. My game's lagging a little bit too much for me to really be able to show you. But if I scroll out, once again, to recap from the last 2 episodes, we have rated this nuclear power plant. We actually were here earlier today. We also have rated the nuclear power plant down here, this one right here. However, we skipped these 2 in the middle because I wanted better equipment. I could go and rate them right now, perfectly fine. We've already done 2. I thought it'd be a little bit easier if we upgraded some equipment. We're due for an upgrade anyway. Fortunately, our storage facility goal for this episode, I wanted to finish at least the functionality of it. We're not going to be able to get there. I'm definitely bummed, but I've put over, I think, 12 hours, maybe 15 hours in this at one episode so far, just in like work. And all the projects we've started, we've hit a dead end just about. So we're going to shift gears next episode. We are going to create better gear, more gear for these 2 power plants. And we're going to hope, fingers crossed, we can get 2 Sherbidium nuggets, because I think that's all we need. If I'm not mistaken, we may need more. My math could be a little bit wrong. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure we only need 6 total. Yeah, okay, yeah, my math is correct. We only need 6. So there's going to be 2 magnetized tungsten ingots. And that's times 2. There's a top and a bottom to this. So that's 4. We have all 4 of those. What we need are 16 of these coils, or superconductors, I guess. And that is going to require 1 nugget each, because we could break it down. But with that, man, I mean, fingers crossed. We got to hope. I think we only got 1 nugget from the first 2 power plants, so we just got to hope we get lucky and get 2 nuggets. There's tons of radioactive material in those 2 nuclear power plants. With that, man, unfortunately did meet our goal of finishing the storage facility. Did not meet our goal of crafting a new and upgraded power source. I'm 0 for 2 this episode. I'm really bummed. But nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed. We're getting back into technology. We're getting our butt kicked a little bit, but we're advancing. This lag is unbearable, so I'm going to stop talking, and I will catch you guys in the next one.